brothers and sisters, children of all ages. Not sure if we're getting accurate audio or anything. It's been a minute since I've gone live from the distillery. We've been busy in June and July and August and September and October. Actually, it's just September now. So, it's not September and October. It's just through September. Trying to determine if we're getting the right audio mix from my audio source. It's hard to know, hard to tell. I gotta tell my buddy Marty. Old Humble Distilling.com/shop online. Use discount code make it 2 for free shipping on 2 bottles. Alright. I can't tell where the audio is coming from yet, but I'm getting close. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, I am the Old Humble Guy. This is Old Humble Behind the Scenes. We are, I'm going to be bottling up some bourbon. It does not sound like we're getting my main audio right now. Let me go to my audio setup. Headphones are muted. Good. OBS is on. Bang & Olufsen. Open up new recording device. What am I recording? Recording device. Internal microphone. No. External microphone. Yes. Digital audio interface. Did that work? Now it works. Okay, we're set. Audio is better. This is getting the audio now. All right. So what we got going on? Let's do a word from our sponsor.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
There. Is that better? I'm not muted anymore. But the camera is fucked. Let's get it back over here. All right, y'all can pretty much see everything that's going on from this angle. There we go. All right, got it worked out. We good? We good. Okay. So what you didn't see is that over here to my left, the big bay door. It's bright outside. That throws all the light balance off. You can't have that. Throws off all the white balance, all the light balance. You can't see anything. It's a real mess, real pain in the butt. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit so you're not looking at my crotch the whole time. That should be good. Should be good? Yeah, we should be good right about there. Okay. All right, that'll do. Cheers, Dustin. Welcome back. Or welcome me back, I guess. I'm back. Welcome back to you, too. It's been 4 months since I've done one of these from the distillery. This here is my machine, my Glengarry Glen Ross machine. It is for closures. See what I did there? And then I seal them while the next 4 bottles are being made or being filled. I seal these up and set them up right here. I should get another, I think I've got another 10 barrels or 10 cases or so in this barrel for filling. And that's what we'll do today. I'm going to fill them and I'm going to label them. This one's a little bit full. That one's a little bit unfull. This goes here. This goes there. This goes there. What I would like also, as far as the tech setup here at the distillery goes, I would like to have, you know, my computer desk is over here. My tech desk is over here. It's on the far side by the bar, opposite of the stage, so that I can see and control things from the stage. I might move it over there by the bathroom. Y'all can't see what I'm pointing at. Trust me. In a perfect world, I guess, it would be over here, separate from there. Oh, like in this office or that office, separate from the stage, so I could like put on headphones and hear what's going on and not be actually distracted by the show. But a lot of the shows that I run are going to be run from inside the distillery. So I want the tech desk in the distillery more often than not, I suppose. Simply to be able to manage things on the fly. And I'll do a proper tour of the distillery itself at some point. But not today, because today I've got work to do. I've got to empty out this barrel so I can take the next barrel and need to adjust this down to 27 even. Reset, because these are getting overfilled. This is perfect. This is a little over full, but I don't have any that are under full to balance it into. So this just goes boop right back in. I probably ought to do a proper tasting before I go too much further, because that's my job, you know. Got to make sure the product is proper. So that's gonna be my tasting Glencairn. I got it from, where did I get this from? Somebody left this at my table at a Texas Whiskey Fest, and it is a Ranger Creek bottle. It's a little bit dirty, or Ranger Creek glass. It's a little bit dirty, but it'll serve its purpose. All right, I don't think I'm muted now. I think I'm good. All my audio levels look good. Everything looks good. Video levels work. Everything's working. Fan-diddly-tastic. Dustin, you have gotten yourself added to the list, by the way. The Wheel of Doom and Glory. You're in. Thank you. Congratulations for joining me in chat today. So anyway, the ideal tech setup at this point, good beefy CPU, a good beefy GPU, It's probably about an $800 computer, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm going to get there through ads, through whiskey sales online. I am already at 30% of my goal with the online whiskey sales. Actually, no, that's not true. The online whiskey sales are not at goal yet. They're not anywhere near 30% of the goal. But super chats are at, where are we at? So far this year, we've collected $50 worth of super chats. $43. $43 worth of super chats, which puts me at, my goal for the end of the year was $250. Memberships. That's the next thing to talk about. Memberships. Tara Smith's Kitchen is in the house. Cheers, Tara. Welcome to the party. I don't know what that is. All right. That is my taste quality control shot sample. Dram. Not even a dram. All right. That just balances out the bottle. So the goal for each one of these bottles, the filling goal, you can see right here, is right at the bottom of the neck. That is considered a full bottle of whiskey. Right at the bottom of the neck. You can be just a little bit above, just a little bit below. God damn, that is good bourbon. That is good bourbon. Every iteration is getting a little bit better. Every iteration is getting a little bit better. And my first two tasted right. The color was a little bit dodgy. The flavor was right on. Even the blackout bourbon, it's a little bit light for my preference, for what I wanted. But every iteration is getting a little bit darker, a little bit more smoky, a little bit more oaky. God damn. All right, so anyway, super chats get you free shit, or get you entries on our giveaways. Super chats get you acknowledgement, my undying appreciation. Every time we do I record the super chats. Every person who gives me a super chat, they get their name entered onto the wheel. For every dollar they give me, they get their name entered onto our giveaway wheel. We spin our giveaway wheel once a quarter. It's going to be merchandise. It's going to be whiskey. It's going to be all kinds of, whatever it is. It's never the same thing. Although this time the giveaway is the same thing as the giveaway last time. It's a sample pack of our 4 whiskeys plus a cigar. The same thing I gave away last time. Quality control is extremely important. Yes, it is, Dustin. But the memberships are an entirely different creature. So I'm working on an idea for a Monday night game night where we play, when I get the new computer, we will play games. And only people who are members are eligible to join me for the game night. Winners will get merchandise, some sort. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 t-shirts, hats, whatever. Even if it's just a chat forum, members get preferential treatment on joining the chat forum. If you're not a member, because ultimately I've got to protect my brand. I can't just allow any kook and weirdo to come up onto my panel. I'm not going to have people coming up on my panel being all like, actually, Armageddon is upon us. Here's what you need to know and how you need to protect yourself from Armageddon, because it is upon us, because the evil Democrats or the evil Republicans or the evil Libertarians or the evil swamp monsters or whatever. I don't need that shit. That's not coming up on my panel. I don't need to spend time on an open discussion panel. This breaking down the fact that the Civil War was actually about slavery and not merely states' rights. This is not. We're not relitigating history. We're not relitigating the past. We're not. We're not going to be doing the game of re-explaining facts to people. That's not what I need to worry about on my open forum channels. I don't need people coming up being all like, "Oh, actually, it's the Jews." Like, nope, thank you, bye. Unless, of course, you're a member, and if you want to pay for the privilege of coming onto my panel and being an ass, that's I think the lowest tier of our memberships is $2 or $1.99 a month. If you want to pay for the privilege of coming on my show and being a cuckoo bird, like, okay, I'll give you. Oof! I just broke a damn bottle. I just broke a goddamn. That's the first time that has ever happened. I cracked a bottle. Look at that. I mean, it's not broken through. It's not going to leak. That'll stay at the distillery. That'll become a distillery bottle or a distiller's bottle. Oof. Anyway, so if you want to pay for the privilege, all right, I'll take that. That's the baseline level that membership earns you. You pay for the privilege of being a cuckoo bird, and I'll give you one shot. You can come up, you can be a cuckoo bird, and then I will ban you for life. And if you want to cancel your membership at that point, fine. You paid $2 to come up and be a cuckoo. I'll take it. I'll take it. But members also get preferential treatment. Y'all are automatically entered on the Wheel of Doom and Glory every month. So if you're a $2 a month member, you're already entered on the Wheel of Doom and Glory twice. See how that works? Every month, you're already entered twice. Because you paid $2, right? And every month, if I don't do the drawing this month, you're entered for this month and next month. If I don't do a drawing, but for the quarter, well, you're entered onto the drawing for, 6 times? 3 months and a quarter? Fair deal, right? So the next tier level, is associate producers. You get shout outs on every closing screen when I do my production screens. Award-winning Production is the production company that I've chosen for my shows. Award-winning Production. This has been an award-winning production. Great job. That's my closing screen. Whoops. I dropped this cork. So you get a shout out, special thanks to my associate producers, and you get a plaque at the distilleries. You get a plaque in the distilleries studio for when I do my shows here at the distillery. Right over there. It'll be on the wall. Special thanks to these folks who helped make this studio happen. And I think that's also for the basic tier too. You get a shout out. I think that might be on the yeah, because that's the first level is the associate producer, basic membership, I think. And the second level is Wildcats. And the third level is Roughnecks. And that's a full-on $25 a month. And you get all the other stuff. Preferential treatment for chat, preferential treatment for entries onto our the second tier also gets samples of our whiskey for special members only sip-alongs. So I'll send out samples of the whiskey for sip-alongs. So if I have a special release, we're doing a bourbon this quarter, we're doing the rye next quarter, we're doing every quarter you get a special sample kit of whatever it is that we're sending out. Special sip-along. We'll open up the StreamYard. We'll open up the Restream, StreamYard, whichever system I'm using. Whichever system I'm set up to use. Hell, even if it's Zoom, you know? Although I don't really like Zoom. That's a subscription I don't want to get. But we'll hook it up with StreamYard. We'll be all professional and shit. It'll be cool. Or StreamYard or Restream. I'm not really a real big fan of StreamYard. I really like Restream's setup. I like Restream a lot better than StreamYard. But I'm willing to try them both out. We used StreamYard for a long time, and then they got bought by that other company, and I didn't like StreamYard anymore. Like, they changed everything that they did that made them awesome. But anyway, so Wildcats will be on that second tier where you actually get the samples, and you get to join me for a sip along while we talk about the new and weird stuff that I'm making at the distillery, whether it's our brandy, whether it's our rye. And, you know, you can drop down at any time. You don't need to stay as that member. You can be all like, yeah, we got the samples. They were fine. I don't care. I'm out. And that's cool. I mean, you'll get the glassware to go with it. You'll get the sample bottle, the glassware. We'll send all that shit out. That's cool. And that's not cheap. I mean, y'all are getting a hell of a deal. It's not cheap for me to do that. It's like, you know, $5 for the box plus the glassware. I mean, I want y'all to hang around for 2 or 3 months at least. Let's do at least one of those tastings. Give me some feedback, because this is unfinished stuff. When I do the cask strength, when I finally do my Boomtown cask strength, I don't know if I'll call it Boomtown, the cask strength. I'm thinking of something along the lines of Cougar Country, because we are, in fact, in Black Cat Country out here. Black Cat Ridge was a prominent district on the other side of the river that was a area for roustabouts and ne'er-do-wells. It was a well-known, I wouldn't call it a red light district, because it wasn't exactly a red light district. It was more of a fight club district. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, this is where, I mean, I'm sure they had brothels, but, you know, in fact, that's probably where most of the brothels were located, because on the main side of Humble, the proper Humble town, where the Roughnecks would come and fight and do all the stuff that they did, they tried to keep this side pretty respectable. They tried. I mean, you can only do so much when the whole ethos of your city is that it fills up with Roughnecks every second Thursday, and they stick, you know, because they live over at the oil fields, and every second Thursday they come in and fill up your town, drink all your booze, and fuck all your prostitutes. And I guess maybe Black Cat Ridge is where they would go, and, you know, the less reputable folks were. The ones who weren't exactly employed by the oil companies, I guess. Anyway, our third tier of membership, the Wildcats, or the Roughnecks, you get, I think I said you get executive producer mentions, which is the same as associate producer. I mean, let's face it. I'm the executive producer, right? But you also get to name our studio for a whole month. You, the Wildcat, or the Roughneck contributor to our channel, can name my studio. So every time I go live for my happy hour, my home studio and the proper facility here, it can be the Tara Smith's Kitchen recording it live from the Tara Smith Kitchen Tasting Room and Studio, or live from the Pee Pee Poo Poo Tasting Room and Studio, or live from the My Underwear Tastes Like Garlic Bread and Swiss Cheese Studios. I mean, y'all could literally do whatever you want. I'm going to be Ron Burgundy-ing the studio name. You write down the studio name, you tell me who it is, I will contact you to let you know. Congratulations. You get to name the studio for the next 30 days. And between 4 and 12 times a month, I will say whatever it is you tell me to say we are broadcasting from. The Harry Potter is my favorite kind of elf studio. He's not an elf, but you know what I mean. He's a wizard, right? A kid's wizard. A wizard at probably the worst fucking high school in the country. In the entire universe. They're like, do y'all need to learn math? No. Abracadabra. Like nothing matters in a world of magic. Because, I mean, there's no, like, physics necessary in a world of magic. You know, because it's like, I need this thing to happen. Abracadabra, a thing happens. I mean, to me, that's like the worst possible world to live in. You're like, I need to get from point A to point B. Abracadabra. I'm at point B. Cars don't matter. I mean, why do they even have buses to pick up these kids? Why did they have it was a ghost, right? A ghost and a bus picking up these kids that one season? I mean, that's dumb. They could just teleport. They could just have the Eagles or whatever come and pick them up. Or was that the Hobbit? That's the Hobbit. You know what I mean, though. They have chimneys that swoosh them across town. They have, it was a different way of getting to the stupid school every year. Why? Did the train not work? The train that brought everyone to school every year, did that not work? All of a sudden, for whatever reason? Could they not just, poof, woo, whatever, tap themselves on the head with their stupid wand sabers? I mean, it's just dumb. It's dumb. And I get it. Zillions of people love the Harry Potter books. Like, that's cool. But so help me God, if you're a grown-ass adult and you're like, I'm Team Bubblebutt, or whatever stupid schools they have, you are an adult. You are a 35-year-old man. You are a 40-year-old woman. You are not in any of these stupid schools. Grow the fuck up. It's like a grown-ass man being all like, yeah, I wield a blue lightsaber because I really believe in truth and justice, but use the Force when I need to. Like, no, you don't, you dipshit. You are a second-year graduate student getting your master's degree in actual physics. You're not a goddamn Jedi anything. But whatever, have your fandom. Enjoy it. Live your fantasy world. I have no real problem with it. It's annoying. And if I have you in a job interview and you whip that shit out at me, I do not know if I will hire you. I might. As long as you're a fun person. But if you tell me that you're Ravenpluff or whatever, no. No. I'm okay with Jedis, but wizards? I mean, I have issues with Jedis, don't get me wrong. Because that's a whole stream of magic that makes you uber-duper, super-duper powerful. And if you're not using that to bang chicks, then why the hell are you even a Jedi? I know. We don't have emotional connections. No, it's just, actually, Wilfred, you're just a virgin. You could have emotional connections, but you bring your lightsaber on dates, so girls don't touch your penis. So what you need to do is quit with this, celibate Jedi Knight bullshit and live your life. Don't blame the Jedis for being celibate. I mean, it's kind of their fault, but it's your fault. Wilfred. Gene. Who's here? Tara. I wish oil would pick up. Oh, you all oil chemicals, oil food? Yeah. Is oil slacking right now? I guess it's the school year started, travel dropped, but had they just moved everything over to like pipelines and stuff? I mean, it's a good price for the oil right now. It's three figures right now, isn't it? And it's still in $100 a barrel range. Honestly, I haven't paid close attention. I know that the gas prices are still hovering above $3. So I figured oil prices were still hovering. The state of Texas isn't crying poverty, so I figured gas prices were okay. They're spending money like drunken sailors trying to kill public education. But I guess, if that's what you like to do, you find the money in the budget to do it. And we all know the state of Texas loves to hate public education. This would be their third, I think, special session this year to try and kill public education. I'm sorry, create vouchers for school choice, which is kill public education. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that teachers were public employees, they probably wouldn't have a problem with public education. Anything you can do to not have public employees. It's going to be real bad when they find out they can't control what private schools teach the way they can control what public schools teach. But I guess they still have the Texas Education Board to approve the books. And if they're still approving 30 million books a year, then they still kind of control what gets taught through a significant portion of the country. As long as they have to approve the curricula. But quasi-private school, they can't approve the curricula. Quasi-private school can teach whatever freaking curricula they want, just as long as they pass the basic standardized test for these kids to graduate high school. I need a drink. I'm gonna go get me a soda water. I can't do this. I can do this till about 2 o'clock. Then I gotta wrap up. So my goal is to empty out this barrel to the back of the bar. My goal is to empty out that barrel. And then get on with the sealing of the bottles, the bottle seals, and then the labels. And I should be able to get that done by 2. It's a little bit much, but that's okay. I should be able to get that done by 2. I hope. But if not, that's fine. I'll be back in a couple of days. I've got a batch of straight whiskey that needs to go into the bottles. And then I need to prep up barrels for my next barreling of my 5th batch of bourbon. batch 5. Batch 5. It's exciting. Batch 5. Got into batch 5 before the end of 2023. Batch 4 was at the end of 2022, and I sold batch 4 through 2023. Batch 5 the first bottles will be ready in January 2024. The first bottles, these corks, shoddy fucking work on these corks. These are new corks. They shouldn't be giving me issues. See this? This cork just separated. I don't like that. That gives me a sad. Makes me has a sad. I don't want to has a sad. Having a sad is bad. So anyway, we got memberships, we got super chats. We will have member-only chats, but that's more on the game nights. I'm putting together my first game night with a game master from across town. The first game night series will actually be a D&D, a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. It won't be a live game night, but that will be available only to members. If you want to join a campaign, that will be available only to members. And I think we can work a way where we can add members into the game to join us on game night for the distillery. And I'm going to add in more happy hour nights from the distillery. After we close on Friday nights, I'll go live. After we close up shop on Saturday nights, I'll go live. So I'll be able to do shows live or from the distillery, and then after the distillery's done, go live. When we do live music, that'll be open only to members. If you want to catch a live show online, that'll be a members only program. We're gonna have lots of members only stuff because membership has its privileges. For those of you old enough to remember the American Express commercials, I am shamelessly stealing that tagline because membership does indeed have privileges. Oh, I keep pulling bottles out when I don't need to. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Should have about 4 cases remaining. 3 cases remaining. Yeah, that's about what it looks like. See how cloudy it gets when the bubble comes in? I gave it a little bubble in there and it got cloudy on me. I need to keep my whiskey wand in the right angle. But it did not affect the amount of whiskey that dumped in. That's nice. Saturday, this weekend, I will be going to Home Depot. The rest of this week, I'm going to be cleaning out my tasting room area, taking measurements on a clean, straight floor all the way across. I mean, I know about how much wall space I need to rough in, but I'm going to get my framing for the back wall, the front wall, the interior wall, my office wall, and the utility wall. Then I'm also going to get the framing for my interior office wall, which is only like 10 feet or 15 feet or something like that. I might put in a partition wall here behind the bar so that we can, just a simple standing wall that like doesn't do anything except separate out the space from my office. I don't know. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this interior. I haven't decided yet. I got a lot of shit going on the next 2 months. I'm going to have this tasting room. The plan is to have this room finished in 2 weeks. Built, electrical installed, utilities all set up, water, etc. I have a water utility line that I'm going to run from my hot water heater up through the roof and down into my bar, the wall over here from my bar. So I have a little hot and cold water at my bar for a spray tap for cleaning out utensils and cleaning out bottles and stuff like that, buckets and bottles and stuff. Beautiful. I'm going to have, I think, one four-part outlet over here on this wall, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 outlets over there on that wall, 2 or 3 outlets in my office. We're going to have plenty of places for people to plug stuff in, especially bands, because we want to make sure bands can plug their shit in. All the holes you could possibly need. And I still have ambitions to do a burlesque review here at the Old Humble Distilling Company, a vaudeville-style burlesque review show. And when we start doing those shows from the main stage, of course, they're going to be broadcast on our YouTube channel. Original programming right there. On our channel. Entertaining, engaging, blah, blah, blah. Who's here? Yes, all the holes you could possibly want. Might even put one in the bathroom. Oh, I have 2 holes in the bathroom. Maybe I'll install a second or third hole in the bathroom. We could definitely use more holes in the bathroom, right? Put one on each one of these walls. One in the front facing the tasting room, one in the back facing the office or the bar, and then one on the side facing the bar, and then one in the back facing the office. Yeah, we could have 3 additional holes in the bathroom. Might even be able to put 2. 2 facing the tasting room and 2 facing the bar. I'd only be able to put 1 facing the back because that's the there's a door on that wall. So sink, toilet, glory, exactly. never have too many glory holes in the bathroom, right? You need enough for everybody. All right, how many we got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This would be 16, case number 16. And I already sold one, so that would be 17 total, which is about the number that I was expecting. 17 cases out of 1, 2, should get 2 more fills out of this before it starts slurping. Should be good to go. And I will not get an 18th case, but I might get a couple of bottles. So I'll tee up the last 4. There's these. This is 2/3 of a case. That is 8. This is 12. This finishes off the case. And I am going to do a show. I am going to do a whiskey talk, an actual sit down at my desk and do a talk about whiskey, where we talk about age statements. Because I've been getting that question a lot at our tastings, at the demos that I do. Age statements. Well, how old is that? How old is it? What's the age statement? What's the age statement? And it's been a topic of discussion a lot in a lot of forums that I've gone to as well about age statements with whiskey. And I mean, this whiskey, like I always tell people, we age our whiskey 6 to 9 months in 5-gallon barrels. It is the equivalent of about 5 to 7 years. But also, we're on the Texas Gulf Coast. So 6 to 9 months on the Texas Gulf Coast is not the same as 6 to 9 months. Hell, it's not the same as 6 to 9 months in the panhandle of Texas. It's not the same as 6 to 9 months in the prairies and lakes area of Texas. It's not the same as 6 to 9 months in San Antonio or Austin or Louisville, Kentucky, or Lochmorangie, whatever, in Scotland. It's not, 6 months is not 6 months. Unless you're talking about 6 months and all things being equal. I did get 4 whole bottles. It is right there at the top of my down filter, of my intake filter. Right there at the top of the intake filter. I wish I could just grab the camera and show y'all. But it's plugged in, and if I move it, the connection will wig out on me because it's dumb. CrossFitters are going at it right now. Their music is jamming, and I love it. Every second of it. So if I get 1 full bottle out of this, I can replace that bottle I chipped. There it is. That'll do. You're good. Stop. That is about 2 bottles remaining. And I have a funnel, which I will use because I don't want to spill any of my whiskey. Not that I do, because I know what my precious resource is. But it goes faster this way. It's not quite 2 full bottles. It is about 1. and change. 1 2/3, 1 3/4. Yeah. All right. That's good. These guys go back in here and wait their turn for next time. These guys stay with me. I do get one full bottle, so I can swap out that one that I chipped, which is right here. Here. That's the one I chipped. You go here. You go here. I love when Balcones drops on things like 18 months and whatnot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's that full disclosure thing. It's like we're aging it 18 months in the heat of Texas or on the Gulf Coast of Texas. Like the time in the bottle or the time in the barrel matters, but also the geography matters. You know, the terroir. I said that I talked about this in the episode that the show that I talked about terroir. Terroir is important for whiskey, but not in the same way that it's important for wine. And it doesn't mean the same thing when you talk about wine. When we talk about terroir for whiskey, we're talking about the aging climate. We're talking about the area, not so much the soil, the land that goes into the corn, that goes into the bottle, but it's more about the area where the barrel gets aged. Because let's face it, corn is corn. The soil that goes into the corn is not nearly as important as the corn itself. The different strands of corn, the different strains of corn, the different styles of corn, the different flavors of corn, that is way more important than the Iowa dirt or the Indiana dirt or the Texas dirt or whatever that makes the corn. And if we're being really honest about it, the flavor of the corn is not even that important in so much as it's the sugar content of the corn that makes the corn taste that way. Because the sugar content of the corn is what makes the bourbon. It's what makes the alcohol. The sugar content versus the starch content. And if you have a high sugar corn versus a high starch corn, you have a different flavored corn. High sugar corn tastes different from high starch corn. That's why bread and butter corn tastes different than popcorn. Popcorn is higher starch, bread and butter is higher sugar. And one of the reasons why we like high corn sugar, number 2 yellow dent corn, is high in sugar as well as high in starch. And we like high sugar corn because sugar turns into alcohol. Where's my... Sugar turns into alcohol. Starch does not turn into alcohol. Not directly. You've got to do stuff to starch. Yeast do not eat starch. Yeasts eat sugar. And if you have starch, you have to malt it. You have to use malting proteins, beta amylase, or malted barley. Beta amylase and malted barley. The malted barley has beta amylase, or you malt the corn itself to activate the beta amylase in the corn to begin the conversion process. And then we grind it up, boil the shit out of it to get that starch, get the corn out, or the sugar out of the corn, and the starches, so that the beta can begin its conversion process, and the yeast can feast. And if we're being completely and totally honest, that process destroys so much of the flavor of the corn from jump that the nature and character of the corn is not really does not really come through significantly. I am not saying it doesn't come through at all, but the vast majority of flavor is not coming from corn, no matter what people think and people say when they drink it. Oh, I can really taste the corn. Okay, sure. You say so. You can't, but whatever. Uh, the things I hear people say at demos, I give them my straight whiskey and special reserve, and I kid you not, every single time I do a tasting with my straight whiskey and special reserve, somebody says, "Oh, I can really taste the rye." And this is after I tell them it's 90% corn and 10% malted barley. 90% corn, 10% malted barley, 0% rye. Oh, I can really taste the rye. Oh, okay. There's no rye in it, so you're tasting something else. These demo people, they crack me up sometimes. Sometimes they just annoy me, but sometimes they crack me up. Most of the time, they crack me up. Anyway, what were you saying, Dustin? Corn. You should sell that partial and handwrite bottom of the barrel. Oh no, that goes back to my office with me. But yeah, I can't imagine when you grow corn. Yeah, I mean, and no, like for real, like artisan corn, like the different strains of corn, different varieties of corn, they do bring something to the to the party, and you can tell that with corn chips. Corn, when you actually eat the corn, you can tell an artisanal variety of corn versus the actual corn. Regular commodity corn. Regular commodity corn tastes like corn, but the thing that gives it those flavors, like blue corn doesn't taste blue. There's a starch, there's a compound, there's something in there that gives it that flavor. And now in the distillation process, we grind it, we boil it, and then we ferment it. Okay? I mean, we all know the process, right? We grind it, boil it, ferment it. And then the yeast in the fermentation process eats the sugar and leaves behind alcohol. All right, so now we have whatever, 85% water with some of those proteins in it that weren't boiled off that give it that flavor. And then we boil the alcohol to liberate that alcohol. And when we liberate the alcohol, we take with it about 20% of the water. That final solution that we have, the final solution, the solution that we have, the wash, the whiskey wash, is 80% alcohol. We go up to 160 proof. It's 80% alcohol and 20% water. That 20% water is what holds the compounds. And granted, those compounds, they're not nothing, but it's 20%. And then we put on top of that the flavor of the barrel. And then we put on top of that, we cut it down and dilute it with pure clean water. Like the total weight of the water from the original ferment, from the original corn, the total weight in this bottle of whiskey here of the original corn that was ground up, boiled up, fermented, and that corn's already only 72% of the value of the mash bill. So 72% of 20%, and then it gets diluted down to 50%, 45%. I have yet to drink a whiskey that has convinced me that my math is wrong. That the compounds of the corn, if you had a blind tasting, if nobody told you it was an artisanal corn, a blue corn mash or whatever, if no one told you that this was magical grain, you it would you might be able to pick out that it tastes different. You know, like in the case of Maker's Mark, you can tell that Maker's Mark tastes different. They use red winter wheat instead of rye. That is a distinctly different flavor of grain in the mash bill. And it's a much smaller percentage in the mash bill than corn. So it definitely makes a difference in flavor, even in small quantities. So I don't doubt it that it can affect the flavor. And, you know, we're talking the corn 60%, 50%, 70% in some cases, but I'm still very, very skeptical that it's a dramatic enough flavor because it's still corn. And the things that make the varieties of corn different, significantly different, is the starch content and water and sugar content. And let's face it, in the distillation process, in the fermentation process, we do everything we can to turn that starch into sugar and then turn that sugar into alcohol. And then the stuff that's left behind, like, we don't give a shit about the stuff that's left behind. We don't want that stuff that's left behind. We distill it out. I've yet to taste a whiskey that has dispelled my skepticism about the grains themselves. Identical mash bills with different corns, you can pay 100% tell them apart. Generally, it isn't. Candy corn is a pretty common note. Yeah, I get that. I mean, you kind of know what you're doing, though. You know. I think most of the time people coming up to the barrel at demos don't have any idea what they're doing or talking about. They're just repeating things that they heard other people say. It's amusing. It's funny. It's cute. It's adorable. It makes me smile. Sometimes. Sometimes it just annoys me, like I said. I'm going over to this side real quick. I don't want to reach across the table. I'll be off camera for just a moment, but you'll be able, I don't know, you might be able to see some of this. I can't see my monitor from this side. And again, dream setup, I'd have a big old monitor so I could see what's going on top of my table over there. So I could see it from this angle as well, because it would be a big old monitor sitting on top of that tech desk. Anyway, I'll come back over there to chat in just 1 second. I got about 18 more bottles to put a seal upon. And I'm going to run out of seals, I believe. Maybe. Yeah, but anyway, no, I can be convinced. I just have yet to, I've yet to taste whiskeys, and maybe it's just my dumb palate. I've yet to taste whiskeys where they haven't told me that, oh, this is magic grains. That's one of the reasons why I tell people we have magic water, because we do. We have magic water. We use rainwater. And you know, the tasting process, the demo process, is so influenceable, so subjective, so influenceable. I mean, my whole spiel is designed to influence the way you interact with my whiskey. I introduce it as my delicious whiskey. Would you like to try my delicious whiskey? That is the first introduction. It's my delicious whiskey. So you're already primed for delicious whiskey in your mind. delicious. And then I go down the whole list of stuff. It is, well, whichever one I'm doing. The straight whiskey, 90% corn, 10% malted barley. Texas grains in the mash bill. Rainwater, captured rainwater. So we don't have, and this is important, we don't have any heavy metals from municipal pipes to filter out, but we go ahead and filter for it anyway, making an even more pure, even more clean, crisp whiskey drinking experience as they're drinking it. So as they're taking their sip, which is another thing that cracks me up. When I give you a sample, you don't get a full shot. Samples in the state of Texas are, let me see if I can find a sample cup and show you how much an actual sample is in the state of Texas. So first off, this is a sample cup. This is a shot glass. This is a 2-ounce shot glass. This is a 1/2-ounce sample cup. 1 ounce solo sample cup. This is what we're working with here. This. And you get, when you get a sample, now mind you, this is a 1-ounce cup. When you get a sample, you get that's a heavy pour. You actually probably get close to that much. I give people between 1/10 and 1/4 of an ounce. Just enough to taste it. And you get the most nonsensical. Well, I can't have a sample. I'm going to get drunk at this place. You're not getting drunk off this. You're not getting drunk off this unless you're already drunk. And for reference, this is a shot. That's how much of a shot you're getting. Even if it's one of my 1.5-ounce shot glasses. That's what you're getting when you get a sample. Just enough to taste. And then this is what cracks me up, without question. This legitimately makes me laugh. When people do this and they go, oh yeah, that's good. They didn't fucking drink any of it. I can see it. I can see how much they have. They're just like, yeah, Or even worse, the people go, like, you didn't fucking drink any of it, you fucking need. Ugh. And I sit there watching them take sip after sip after sip after sip, like 5 or 6 or 7 sips out of this. They're not even drinking it. Like, how do you even taste it? Like, what the hell are you doing? Put it in your mouth and swallow. Phrasing, don't say anything. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's, anyway, like, it does not take that long to drink. But these guys, they crack me up sometimes. They really, truly do. Legitimately, truly crack me up. Sometimes they just frustrate the hell out of me. I just want to reach across the barrel and slap the piss out of them. But other times, most of the time, they crack me up. I enjoy it. I enjoy the feedback. I enjoy going out there, sharing my whiskey with people, getting feedback, learning what it is that I need to do to make my whiskey better. I know my Boomtown bourbon is not its final finished product. This is closer to the finished product that I'm looking for. And I know this because I go out and do the tastings. I know this because, like, if I didn't go out and do the tastings, then I would not know, because I wouldn't have that direct, immediate feedback from people when I go out and interact with them. Like, I know, anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the subjective tasting process, the subjectiveness of the tasting process. And every once in a while, I get people who are like, who come up. This is the most frustrating question I get when I go out and do tasting. I'm like, would you like to try my delicious whiskey? And they say, what is it? It's whiskey. Would you like to try my delicious whiskey? Is it tequila? No, it's whiskey. That's why I said twice, would you like to try my delicious whiskey? Do I look like a distiller who can make tequila? The other absolutely infuriating question that I get on the reg is, what kind is it? What kind does it need to be for you to say yes, that you will try some free goddamn whiskey? Say yes. Come over here. Let me talk to you. What kind is it? Free kind. Would you like to try my delicious whiskey? And that is my introduction line. 100% of the time. Would you like to try my delicious whiskey? Sometimes I add it, local whiskey, my delicious local whiskey, my delicious Texas whiskey. Hello? What's that? Who's here? I thought I heard someone at my door. Rapping upon my chamber door. Excuse me. A gentle tapping. Someone lightly rapping upon my chamber door. It's 1:11. I have 45 minutes. See how many of these I can get done in 45 minutes. And then I'll come back tomorrow and I'll finish the labeling. I've got to be somewhere at 3:45. So at 2 o'clock I need to wrap up, go have lunch. Clean up, shower again. Although it's not that bad. Yesterday it was bad. Yesterday I was hot. Today I'm not a sloppy, sweaty mess today. And then I do all the impressionable salesman stuff. The clean, crisp water, Texas grains, blah blah blah. A lot of it's just filler words because I gotta talk while they're give them something to hear while they're drinking. They're not really listening and they're fine. It's throwaway words. This is my Boomtown Bourbon, a true Texas original. Made right down the road in Humble, Texas. We use Texas captured rainwater in our entire process. Texas grains in our mash bill. We bottle it at 90 proof. And, as I said, make it right down the road in Humble, Texas. And everywhere I'm at in the state is right down the road in Humble, Texas. Whether it's Austin, Dallas, San Antonio. I even said that when I was in El Paso. 13 hours away, El Paso. Right down the road in Humble, Texas. Where's Humble? Just outside of Houston. Well, that's a hell of a ways down the road. Yep, but it's just one road. I mean, El Paso may be damn near a whole nother country. But it is a fine, fine place to visit. And no, you don't have to go all the way to El Paso to get drugs. You can get them right here in Houston. Just because El Paso is right next to New Mexico, and much closer to Colorado. Anybody in Texas who asks when you go to Colorado if you can pick up some drugs is stupid, because they could just go down to the bar and talk to Daryl or Derek or Mike or Andrew or Frank. I mean, everybody knows a guy. If you don't know Derek, you know somebody who knows Derek or Patrick. All you got to do is go down to ask the bartender, say, hey, I don't want to get you in trouble or nothing, but I need some weed. The bartender's like, I don't know nothing. Go talk to that guy who also doesn't know nothing. Guarantee it. So you don't have to go to Colorado or any other place for that matter. You know what you're doing. They limited. I can give one person I can give a person a sample of anything that I'm sampling. But we're not supposed to give you anything if you're drunk. So if I have 6 things that I'm sampling, you can just chill out and I'll pour you sample after sample after sample after sample. But if I have 6 things that you're sampling and you get all the way to the 6th one before you decide to buy something, like we're done. I will cut you off because you annoyed me. And that's another thing. Ever since the end of the pandemic, people are coming out here like they don't know how to be. They are coming out like fresh, brand new people, unaccustomed to how things are in public, unaware of like basic human dignity and basic human decency. They think I want to have a conversation. They think I want to sit there. They think I'm honor bound to listen to whatever bullshit comes out of their mouth. I've had more fucking lunatic conspiracy nuts try to explain to me how the government is replacing the God gene with an mRNA vaccine. And I'm like, that's the plot of a TV show. I don't want to listen to your cuckoo bird crazy nonsense. Like, so my girlfriend's cuckoo bird crazy? Like, if the fucking shoe fits, yeah. She's as crazy as the day is long. I don't give a shit who she is. Like, we ain't all had crazy girlfriends at one point in our past. It's just your crazy girlfriend ain't trying to stab you. Your crazy girlfriend's filling up your empty fucking brain with nonsensical silliness. And that, her head game must be good for you to sit here, stand in front of me, and legitimately tell me with a straight face that you believe this bullshit. Guys will do anything for pussy, I swear to God. We will put up with the most nonsensical bullshit. And I guess girls will do the same thing for dick, but I don't think there's that many girls. There's as many girls who will do it as guys will. We do some dumb stuff. We do some remarkably dumb stuff. What's that noise? I think I have a cricket in my distillery. I'm hearing something making a noise over there. I don't like it. She's dating you. Well, yes. That is an excellent point, Dustin. Calling my girlfriend an idiot? Well, one of you's an idiot, and possibly both of you. Yeah, well, anyway. No, I'm back from the road. That's why I'm able to do it. The weather's finally broken. I can, seems to have broken. I think we're done with our string of what was it? Something like 40 days in a row of 100-degree temps. Like, we're good with 100-degree temperatures. We really are. 100-degree temperatures, we're solid on 100-degree temps. We can roll those easy. They don't bother us. But then when it's 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 6 in a row, 9 in a row, 12 in a row, 25 in a row, like that starts to just get hot. You know, it's like being in the sauna and never getting a break from the sauna. You know, like it's cool. You can hang out in the sauna for damn near as long as you want. But it comes a point where you're just like, I got to go get some fresh air. And then you step out of the sauna, and it's like 98 degrees outside too, or 105 degrees outside too. Like, it was relentless over the summer. All of July. Like, I think the last time it rained, like, July 4th is when it rained, if I'm not mistaken. We got a little sprinkle on July 4th. July 5th, July 6th. And then it was bone dry through all of the rest of July and all of the rest of August. Like, y'all, this was bad. This was epically bad. And it was just relentlessly hot. We're talking 95 degrees at 9 o'clock at night. Just relentlessly hot. All day. And it's the kind of hot where you can't even like take off your shirt and cool down. You know, like the way it's hot right now, it's in the high 90s, low hundreds. You can go out there, you take your shirt off, feel the sun pricking on your skin. It's pleasant. It's a nice, pleasant heat. And then by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, it's backed off that heat and it started to drop down into the low 90s. And that's tolerable. This is the type of summer that I can get behind. Unfortunately, we're 3 days into the fall. Which is less than ideal for summer weather. It would be nice if this was more like fall weather, but it's getting progressively cooler every day, which is good. But yeah, man, that heat, I couldn't do work in here. I come in, I check on my barrels, I could be in here for an hour or so, and I had to leave. It was just, it was choking. Yeah, I couldn't breathe in here. It was just so damn hot. And the sweat wasn't evaporating because it was so humid. Everybody's yards was dying. Trees were going dormant. The bushes in our front yard died. We're going to have to pull them out and replace them with new bushes. But that's okay because I hated those bushes. I hated those bushes. I've been looking for an excuse to get rid of them, and now I have a good excuse to get rid of them. And with the rains we've had the last couple of weeks, they have not come back. The yards have come back. Our backyard and our front yard, they've come back. They've woken back up. But those bushes are not. And I'm okay with that because I hate those bushes. All right, what are we saying? Same guys. The plant's getting cooler and not. These hot summer days. Told me the plants were getting cool. This guy also said that the vaccine was being the protein in the vaccine was being activated by contrails behind jets, chemicals in the contrails behind jets, and that's how they were, getting you. And they were removing the God gene to make it hard to reproduce. And I was like, dude, that's the plot to Utopia. Stop it with the fucking movie plots. Granted, Utopia doesn't have the jet contrails. It's just straight up vaccine delivery. But still, slight variation on the same theme. Slight variation on the same idea, same theme. Well, Soylent Greens are people. Soylent Green is people. Also a movie. And by the way, if you haven't seen Utopia, you need to go watch Utopia. It is a great movie or a great TV series. It's on Amazon Prime. It's British. They did the American adaptation. The American adaptation was very unfortunately timed to come out in March or April of 2020. And the poor folks at Amazon had to put a disclaimer saying, this is just fiction, you fucking idiots. This has nothing to do with current events. Seriously, get a goddamn grip. You idiots. And then, like, the legal team at Amazon said, you got to rewrite this, man. And they're like, yeah, but this is the right disclaimer. They're like, no, you got to rewrite this. Take out the fucking idiots and moron stuff. And they were like, I wish we could take out the fucking idiots. Do we have a green light? They're like, nope, 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 nope. That's not what we meant. As the Amazon assassin team has to stand down. You know Jeff Bezos has an assassins team. And if you didn't, if you were a billionaire and didn't, like, have access to assassins, like, what are you even doing with your money? Right? Like, why do you not have, why do you not currently possess a militia at your disposal? Why not? You're a billionaire. You got more money than some countries, dude. You could own a country. Get out there, hire you up some mercenaries and go take over Sierra Leone or something. Like, nobody would have a problem with that. Of course, then you own Sierra Leone, and you're like, what the hell am I going to do with this thing? But he also owns a newspaper, so it's not like he buys things that are useful all the time. Multiple conspiracies all at once. It tells me he's actually, at least, no. She connected multiple conspiracy theories. And he was just repeating her nonsense. She was likely repeating nonsense that she saw on YouTube. And he was just happy to get laid. And this was one of the many circumstances where I just grabbed my bottle and walked off. I just walked away from it. I was not going to sit there and debate this moron. But I did tell the management that it'd be nice when this clown show ends so I could get to fucking work. I got whiskey to sell. This moron is wasting everyone's time. And this last store that I went to, a couple of dipshits who were drinking tequila. All three of us up front were whiskey tasters, doing whiskey demos. Me, this lady from another Texas distillery, Frisky Whiskers, I think is what it was, a place out of Austin. Frisky Whiskers? Yeah, I think that's what it was called. An Austin-based distillery. And another sweet little lady from a Scotch company. They were all demo pros from ad agencies or model agencies or whatever. Anyway, these guys decided that they were going to come and give us shit, and they weren't counting on me because I wasn't having it. The guy was like, I offered the guy, I poured the guy a sample. He's like, that's not a shot. I'm like, you're not getting a shot. You get a sample. His friend was like, I want to have tequila. You want tequila? I want tequila. That's not tequila. I want tequila. I'm like, fine, go away. We don't have tequila. All we have is whiskey. Do you want to try the whiskey? I asked his friend, do you want to try the whiskey? He's like, sure, I'll try some whiskey. He comes over. I pour him a sample. He's like, that's not a shot. I can't hardly taste that. Hands it back to me. I'm like, I don't want that back. Throw it in the trash. He puts it on the barrel. And I take it. I pick it up. I look at it. And I throw it in the trash. So throw it in the trash if you don't want it. I was done with this shit. And then they hung around and they started being belligerent and loud with each other and harassing the other demo girls. And then they wandered off and they go and find some tequila. As I'm talking to a guy, they're being loud. So I raise my voice to go over the other idiots so that they can hear me. They get the picture. They go off. They wander off elsewhere. And then they come back. They both of them get around the taster girl, the Scotch girl. She was young. She was cute. She was unprepared for this. One of them comes up behind her and starts talking to her, and as he's talking to her, the other guy comes up behind her from the other side, and they like kind of corner her in. And she looks up around. Her eyes are real big. She's like nervous and scared. And they're not trying to drink it. They're trying to get her phone number. So I call her. I was like, Karina, come here. I want to show you something. And one of the guys said, I'm sitting here talking to her. I'm like, I know what you're doing. I need to talk to her. So I pull out my phone. I start showing her something on my phone. I said, I don't really have anything to show you. I just want to like distract you from them so that they're not harassing you. She's like, thank you so much. I couldn't figure out how to get away from them. I'm like, I know, I saw. I got you back, girl. Don't worry. And I said, next time anything like this happens, you can just take your bottle and say, hey, I've got to go to the bathroom. Excuse me. And leave. Just fucking walk to the bathroom. Or hand one of the other tasters your bottle and just walk away. You don't owe them a conversation. You don't owe them anything. You don't have to sit there and put up with their crap. Just leave. Like, you don't, just go. You're not going to sell them a bottle. They're trying to get your phone number. Both of them, in this case, both of them had girlfriends. You're not going to sell them a bottle. They're not going to buy a bottle. They're just trying to harass you. There's no reason for you to sit here and listen to their shit or put up with their shit in any way, shape, or form. Take your bottle, say, excuse me, I have to go, and walk to the bathroom. You'll be fine. And if you really want to give them like a very clear picture that you have zero interest in their bullshit, look at them straight in the eye and say, I have diarrhea. I need to go take care of this. Like, just be disgusting. They will not want to talk to you anymore. You don't owe them shit, kid. Just leave. Ah, always a fun adventure when we're out doing tastings. Oh, Vanessa Kitty's in the house. Vanessa Kitty just got her name added to the Wheel of Doom and Glory. Most well thought out bullshit. Able to connect. Well, yeah. Vanessa Kitty added to the wheel. Let me get my folder out so I can make sure I add the names real time. I've got Tara. Another sheet. Tara. Dustin. Vanessa. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't cease to amaze me how these people feel like how these people, any people really, feel like they have what's the word I'm looking for? Like they have some kind of agency to treat you the way they do when you're out there doing, like, they think that I'm their friend. They want to tell me all their stories. I'm like, that's great and all. I have to act like I care to an extent. But I do not owe you a conversation. I am not obligated to listen to you. I am not obligated to talk to you. I am trying to talk to every single person. You do not have the right to monopolize my time. I am literally trying to talk to every single person that comes in the store. And I don't need to know about your uncle's addictions. I don't need to know about your aunt's uh, second job's boss. Your aunt's boss at her second job, who only drank Macallan. I don't need to know that you're uh, uh, a low wattage intellect type of individual who defines themselves by what kind of liquor they drink. Like, I'm just a Jack Daniels person. Why are you just a Jack Daniels person? Well, I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? You taste a liquor that tastes good, and then you're like, oh no, I don't have to pour this in Coke. Like, I only drink, what was this one guy? Like, I don't like any whiskey other than Evan Williams. I only drink Evan Williams. Like, well, how do you know you don't like other whiskeys other than Evan Williams? Because you only drink Evan Williams. Like, that sounds to me like you don't like whiskey and you were just defaulting to a bad decision. I got a visitor walking across the parking lot coming towards me. So I might have to mute my microphone in just a minute. Cheers and salutations. How are you? Say what? Yeah, what's up? Let me mute my microphone. I'm on camera. Hold on one second. We'll be right back. In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go with that. concert. There we go. All right. So what time is it? I got 20 minutes of this before I need to bounce. Am I still muted? I'm not, right? Oh, I'm not muted. Okay. We can't hear that. No, you can't hear that person. Who's going to scare off two dudes after? That's a good point, Dustin. They're probably not going to. They weren't of their. I don't think they had their faculties all about them. They were being somewhat aggressive in the mating cycle. Yeah, well, anyway. I do generally enjoy doing the tastings because I get the direct feedback for my product. I know at the end of 2 or 3 weeks of tastings, I know what I have out there on the shelves. I know what I have to come back to the shop and do differently. I know what mistakes I made with the whiskey. I know what, I've made a couple of them with the first couple of batches of our bourbon. I aged it over winter instead of summer, so it didn't have quite the flavor that I wanted it to have. Not quite the color. It probably needed 2 or 3 more months in these barrels for it to be fully formed, fully ready. And that is a mistake that I am addressing. My camera froze. That's a mistake that I'm addressing. See if I can fix it without having to. Does that work? Nope. Deactivate. Reactivate. Nope. How about we just try? Start a new camera. Okay. Not that one. That one. Okay. Okay. 53. 53. Down. All right. The Lord be willing. Quick, don't rise. Something's burning over there, I think. I need to shut this down. I do need to go eat lunch. It's almost 2 o'clock. 1:45. I think I can get another case done in 15 minutes. I've got 4 cases to go. It's nice when the neighbors come visit and buy whiskey. He said he had gotten a bottle at Specs, and then like a week ago, and then his wife killed it. So he figured he'd come over here and get a bottle directly from me. But if you got a bottle from Specs, he didn't have the bourbon. Probably the rye or the straight whiskey. How much of a lag am I in here? Catch up. All right. And that's another reason why I need a better tech setup. What happens is the CPU and GPU get overheated, overwhelmed, and then the video freezes. %28 of men not having sex. I wonder if that's a large number. I'm guessing that number has been higher in the past. You know? Like pre-World War II. My guess is that number was higher than 28%. But again, pre-World War II, I suppose they were getting married when they were 16. So they were at least having sex with someone once or twice a year at age 16. Hell, like some kid by the age of 21, they're probably on the third wife, right? Hey-o! I gotta marry someone to take care of these kids. Because she died in childbirth, yeah. Keep up. 7. See, my laptop over here also isn't cool. Like, there's no cooling mechanism. There's no fan. So it just gets hot. And that's bad for the battery. It's bad for the components. It's bad for everything inside of it and on it and around it. Something like 28% of men 18 to 40. I kind of get the feeling, culturally at least, I kind of get the feeling that teen, I don't know if they track this, but like high schoolers, 13 to 18, having sex with each other. Frame this properly. I don't want to talk about grown men and grown-ass women preying on little children. You know, when I was in high school, like there was a prolonged campaign against teenage and premarital sex. In general. I mean, we all knew kids did it, right? We all did. A significant number of us lost our virginity in high school. And by significant, I mean it's statistically significant, more than zero, more than anecdotal. And, you know, a statement like 28% of men 18 to 30 aren't having sex, I mean, there's a frequency question, right? Like if you have sex once a year, are you having sex? Like what's the definition of having sex? You know, do you not have a girlfriend? Have you just not hooked up with anybody in a year? 2 years? What's the time frame? Like you're not fucking anyone right now? Like what's the time frame around not having sex? That's an ambiguous statement. That's a statistic with no meaning behind it. Without the definition of having sex. Without knowing how these people define it. Because, you know, I mean, I know married people who are like, yeah, we're really having sex. Well, when was the last time y'all had sex? It was Saturday. Thursday, you dip. I haven't had sex since last month. All right. I mean, it's 3rd of October, so what, you like saying like mid-September? September 30th, you know? And I think the average person, I don't know what the average is. I can't remember. But I remember reading something where the average person thinks that people have sex 2 to 3 times a week. And when you do the actual poll of how frequently people are having sex, it's more like 2 or 3 times a month. So what people think people are doing and what people are actually doing are not the same thing. And in some cases, it's once every 2 or 3 months. That's like the distribution. 2 or 3 times a week to 2 or 3 times a month, once every 2 or 3 months. That would be. I don't know if there's been a modern sex survey since the one from the 70s, 80s, Kinsey report. And there are flaws with that report. Yeah, I think that the availability of porn kind of gives people unrealistic expectations of what they can expect from a healthy sex life. And I think a healthy sex life would be, I don't know, what a healthy sex life would be. I'm married, so I have no idea what a healthy sex life is. But I just know, me personally, I'd be tired at the end of a week of having sex 2 or 3 times. At the end of a month of having sex 2 or 3 times every week. Jesus Christ, I'd be exhausted. But I think people should probably have sex at least as often as they go to the gym, right? I don't know, I don't go to the gym every day. I haven't been to the gym in years. I should definitely have sex more often than I go to the gym. Alright, I've got 2 cases to go. About 10 minutes left to do it. How long does it take me to do a case? Oh shit, I got about 5 minutes to do it. Apparently it takes me about 10 minutes to do a case. Let's see how quickly I can get these done. Crack it up a little bit higher. The gun is getting hot in my hand. I have burned up so many of these guns. Let's see, what you talking about this? Information in the U.S. participants aged 14 to 49 in 2000, during the 2009 and 2018 waves of the National Survey of Sexual Health and Behavior, confidential national representation, 7,000 that is functionally archive of sexual behavior studies first to include sex was defined by penile penetration and no sex in the last full year. Okay. So not having sex is no sex within a year. I got it. Okay. I mean, I think that would constitute not having sex. But there's also a difference between trying and failing and not trying. I mean, that would be curious to know more. I would be curious to know more. Because I know there are plenty of guys who are like, I can't get laid, aren't actively trying to get laid. They're just not. They may be going to bars and talking to people, but they're not trying to get, in the same way that I'm not, like I would like to win the lottery, but I'm not trying to win the lottery. more clear and obvious when it comes to guys trying to have sex. Guys trying to have sex with a woman. That's the whole kids these days don't know what it takes to get into a woman's pants. I don't know. When I was a kid, when I was in high school and early college, before I met my lovely wife, I never really had a problem. If I wanted to, I could. You know. And maybe women in the 90s were built different than women today. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of evidence of that. I see a lot of evidence that guys are fucking stupid idiots who don't know shit about shit. Whine and complain and cry. Oh, women don't want nice guys. Yeah. Bullshit. And also, you're not a nice guy. Quit being lame. I don't know. I told her that I wanted her to come home with me and wash my clothes and do all the chores and be my house slave, and then I'll take good care of her, but she won't fuck me. Gosh, I wonder why. I'm handsome. I make 6 figures. Oh, gee. And you have the personality of a rock slug? Yeah, okay. Get it. I can't imagine why she doesn't want to talk to you. Your entire personality is your shiny blue car. Hey, here's a newsflash. Most guys don't want to talk to you either. I'm really glad I'm not dating anymore ever again for the rest of my life. I'm happy that I don't have to deal with the dating scene. I have to listen to guys cry and complain. Or listen to girls cry and complain. Like, it's not really that hard. Just fucking go out and talk to people. Treat them nice. Be decent. Oh, I bought her dinner and she didn't get on her knees and suck my dick right there in the restaurant. Yeah, that never happens. Ever. I mean, we used to work to try and woo each other, right? Woo. We used to work to try and get each other's attention. But now it's like I send her a text. She doesn't want to hear from me when I call. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. Because we used to have to call each other. Like, hey, it's me. Just wanted to say hi. You don't need to give me a call back. That's an answering machine message. Just want to call, say I had a good time. You don't need to call me back or nothing. But if you do, here's my number. Talk to you later. Bye. Then a couple days later, you call her up again. Hey, you want to go have lunch? Or a drink after work or something? We'll just go hang out? Yeah, sure. We'll go hang out. Okay, cool. Then you go hang out. And then you start having a conversation, be a little flirty. You're like, does this count as a second date? Like, it's not a first date? I don't know. Is this a date? I'm like, well, if you want it to be a date, it could be a date. We're not going anywhere. It's a date. I'm like, well, we're hanging out. It could be a date. Like, well, all right. Oh, it's just you and me. So, you know. So does that mean it's a second date? Should I kiss you? Uh-huh. I mean, it's not. I never really thought it was that hard. But, like, guys are all up in their heads and shit, and women are all up in their heads. I think this is not maybe I'll be exclusive. I mean, not exclusive. Where are we going? Is this marriage material? Where are we going? I don't know. I mean, goddamn. You know? Just do it. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Just find someone you like, throw dirt on her, call her poo-poo head, see if she comes back, and if she does, then y'all get married. It's not complicated. cut off her pigtails, feed her worms. The more things change, the more they stay the same, is what I'm trying to say. It is 2:01. It takes about 7 minutes, 8 minutes to do a full case. Because it was 1:54 starting this thing out. Also, don't take relationship advice from me. I've only had one successful relationship. But also, don't take a relationship advice from single people or people who are divorced. Because they don't know what they're doing either. I mean, I technically have had one more good relationship than those people. So, you know, they've had 0 and I've had 1. But it's the same thing I tell people when they ask me for career advice. Like, I don't know, man. I've gotten fired from every job I've had. I am the last person you want career advice from. I mean, I've had, 3 successful job searches, and then I said fuck it and started my own business. So. Yeah. All right. Who's with us? Had a girl do that before we got to the restaurant. Place called BJ's again. My audio's breaking up. It's probably time I wrapped up anyway. It's 2 o'clock. I need to go get ready for. I need to go have lunch. Let's switch over to the host cam. Host 2. Hello. Oh, no. Good God. Good God almighty. Main audio. Live cam. Deactivate that bitch. Reactivate that bitch. Cheers and salutations. All right. So we've done 17 total cases. 1 case has already gone out the door. We have 16 here on hand. Mostly dating apps, not exactly good for people who are all personality. Good for the rock slug you just mentioned. I don't know if it's good for the rock slug either. You know, you meet the rock slug and he's just a fucking rock slug. But it is bad. I do agree with you. It is bad for people who are all personality and don't have the, you know, but they're not photogenic. It is, dating apps are tough for people who are not photogenic. But even the people who aren't photogenic are not exactly fishing in the pool of their fellow of like-minded individuals. Let's put it that way. They're not trying to bang ugly chicks. Ugly dudes are not trying to bang ugly chicks, and ugly chicks are not trying to bang ugly dudes. Everybody has high standards. I used to tell that to Lisa. Like, Lisa, your standards are too damn high. But she found herself a man with her high standards. I mean, that's very good for her. I mean, I had high standards too when I was, and my dating standards were relatively high when I was a youngster. They're still relatively high. I mean, I'm a grown ass man, and I'm married to a beautiful woman, and you've got to be like a 15 or 20 to even draw my eye away from her. She's a wonderful fucking woman. But you know, if I was single, I'm 48. If I was single, I mean, the standards changed. I'm not nearly as attracted to 20-year-olds as I was when I was 20. as you would expect, right? That middle-aged mom is looking pretty damn good right now. My middle-aged MILF. Gosh, she's a hottie. Anyway, all right. So enough about me and my lovely wife. Enough about you and your lovely wives and girlfriends and dating pillows or whatever the hell else you got. The dating app show men's interest in women is pretty bell curved. All women seem pretty only interested about 20% of men. No. Women are only interested in about 20% of men, period. that is up to you to change that as the man. You can just like I tell people when I'm selling whiskey at Specs, they don't know what they want. It's your job as a salesman to tell them what they want. That's your job, is to tell that you're selling a product. You tell them what it is that they want, and they can you know, they can say what they want, but their actions speak louder than words. And I can assure you, I was not the most handsome man on the planet, and I still managed to find me a wonderful woman who would let me kiss her and have sex with her and marry her and stuff. I'm living proof. So there you go. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I've got to go. It's after 2 o'clock. I need to go. First, I need to close up the shop, and then I need to go eat, and then I'll be back in a couple of days since my bourbon barrel is empty, or my bottling barrel is empty. My next stop is straight whiskey. We're gonna fill up. We're gonna proof down a batch of straight whiskey, and get cracking on the next shipment of straight whiskey, and then start aging up our special reserve and start aging up our bourbon and rye. We got some exciting stuff happening. Exciting stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, children of all ages, I'm a professional drug producer now. I wonder what my secret was. My secret was that I have a hell of a personality and I'm hung like a donkey. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, be awesome to each other. Don't forget to continue to drink the good stuff. Let me get a bottle of my delicious bourbon. I'm going to go out with a closing shot. Because what better way to tutor kids than with a shot of whiskey in you from a couple hours ago? Cheers and salutations. Be good to each other. Be awesome to each other. And don't forget to drink the good stuff because life is too short for bad whiskey and too long to do nothing about it. Cheers and good night. By the way, this